Hey guys, welcome back to SketchUp Live. How's everybody doing out there? Everybody having a good one?
I'm doing so good.
Good to hear. Hopefully other people are doing good too.
Wait, so did you turn on audio or no?
I did turn on audio.
Oh,
You
good.
guys can
There's a
hear
2
this,
second
right?
delay. Ronaldson said he has no audio, but maybe he just typed faster than you.
That's true.
Faster
There is a
than you
delay.
talked.
John
I
says he's
call it
doing
a
awesome,
dramatic
which
pause.
seems to be a response to how you guys doing. So,
All right, good. Good.
yes. Ooh,
Hot mic.
Sven even called me hot, though my name is not
No,
Mike.
he was talking about Mike.
Oh, I can't wait to see Mike. Sounds like a hot guy.
Okay, so I'm just watching this replay of the clip on the blog post of the new logo just sort of drawing itself.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a new plugin we have that'll auto draw, or
No, I think that was
I
made
think
by
we should
a
do that.
company.
A professional.
Yeah.
No, I want something that auto draws shapes like that.
You can put in a feature request in the forum.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Good thinking. All right, just one more minute, guys. We'll give people a couple more seconds to get logged on here, and then we will start our thing. Hope everybody's doing good. Where's everybody watching from? We don't have our normal list of... I want you to see, look at my hands. That's not me typing.
Can you hear my typewriter? It's an old Selectric. That's how I type now. I have to type it up to that, and then I scan it in, and then it prints it on my screen. It's pretty awesome.
All right, we Devon, UK, Mumbai, India, Massachusetts, Madrid, another India, Newfoundland, Canada, India, New Jersey, USA, Kazakhstan, Sweden, Belfast. Wow. I love it. Once again, we're all over the place in a good way. Not distracted,
Well,
but like
and in a bad way. I mean, let's be fair.
All
Goes both
right,
ways.
let's get this thing rolling. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Aaron Dietzen. I'm SketchUp guy, and we're gonna do some SketchUpping here.
I'm Jody Gates, but I'm just a typewriter guy.
Yeah, that's right. Jody's the guy here. He's with us also. We're from SketchUp, and we're going to do some live stuff right now. So welcome. This is, we'll just address it right off the bat. We had a major release yesterday, and we put out some new stuff in SketchUp that we'll actually be checking out during this stream, plus some tools that we will maybe mention, touch on a little bit. Probably won't dive in too deep to some of the other pieces, but we'll talk about them. You guys have already mentioned, you've noticed that we changed our logo. You can see I'm all kitted out today. I got my sweatshirt here, my hat. I can't get more branded than this unless I actually get branded. But
you got
they don't make us do
bling,
that in companies anymore.
Bling.
Yeah, and actually it's way too much. I got to get rid of this sweatshirt. I'm already hot, so that lasted as long as it could. But yeah, hopefully you guys are doing well, and yeah, we're gonna hop right into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and we will jump in here while I get rid of this. Ugh. Okay. Whew. That created some static, and it made my mic shock my neck. That was fun. All right. All right. Yes. Man, still places coming in. Bangladesh, Seattle, Washington, Turkey, Romania. Awesome. Well, thank you. Welcome one and all to SketchUp Live. This is our live show where we use SketchUp. That's what it would say if this were like listed somewhere instead of just a thing we do. Move Sumele over a little bit. So today
it's worth repeating her name multiple times, because I feel like
we should do a formal introduction.
That for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. So in case you guys haven't met, this is Sumele. That is the proper pronunciation of a word. In case you get hung up on the component name, it is Sumele. And Sumele is actually a member of our marketing team. So she's a great coworker and apparently has a very vibrant outfit that we get to see every time we hop in here, which is awesome. I think that's fun. I always liked, that was one of the reasons I liked Lizanne when she was in there. She was walking along with her paints and her tools and stuff. I just thought it was fun. There's all the color. So
yeah, doesn't seem to be nearly as much color whenever we've got more masculine.
That's right.
Figures.
Dudes just can't accessorize like women can, apparently.
That's right.
All right, so we're just gonna hop into this. So today's model is gonna be kind of I guess we could call this conceptual architecture. What I want to do is, we get asked questions about this kind of stuff a lot. I want to go in and create. I'm going to mock up a building. It's going to be an architecture or a residential building, a house, and we're going to go ahead and put the multiple front elevations or facades or finishes or whatever you want to call it. But take that same house and make it look 3 different ways inside of SketchUp. So that's kind of our goal for today. That's what we're going to take a shot at. So let's hop in here and do that thing. So I am using SketchUp Pro 2021. I said we already said hi to Sumele. We've acknowledged, yes, there's a new logo up there. Now we'll actually look at using it. So we'll get into some of the actual functionality of the new version. This is going to be good. Specifically, one of the pieces we'll look at a lot is tags. So one of the cool things about 2021 is, you guys remember we renamed from layers to tags in 2020? Is that when that was, Jody?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Yeah.
It's weird since we do like the dot releases throughout the year, then now it seems like it was 3 versions ago, but really it's just the beginning of the version cycle or something like that.
It's true. Like the whole major release thing, it seems less major considering we know that there's going to be 3 to 4 additional releases of functionality in the next calendar year. So that's kind of cool. So what we want to do is I want to spend some time looking at tags. I'm just going to leave it open. I'm not going to dive deep into it right now. We're going to start modeling, and then as we start modeling some stuff here, we'll put these tag pieces in here. All right, so what I want to do is I want to start with just, I'm just going to make just a front of a building. So I'm going to say that I'm going to have something maybe, I don't know, we'll say 40 feet long. I'm just going to put a line 40 feet. See how that looks? Ooh, that's maybe a little too big. Let's come back another 10 feet. All right, yeah, that looks good. And I'm gonna bring a line up, say 9 feet. And that's gonna be...
Oh wait, I thought Sumele was 8 feet tall though. This looks out of scale.
Let's check. We'll find out exactly how tall Sumele is. If I go here, just kind of standing on her tippy toes a little bit. Little cheating, but she's about 5'5", give or take.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
She's got a bent leg, so we know this is about human height. That's really the important part. All right, so this is the first floor, the front of the first floor. I'm just going to take this back. I'm going to take this back like 40 foot, and I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to make that into a group.
Keggy wants you to turn on your keylogger.
Oh yeah.
That thing. Also, did you put your little scale figure in the corner so you don't accidentally...
I didn't. I gotta remake that.
Oh,
there we go.
Jeez.
I'm having some issues with this. I actually paid for this software, and I am, as of now, not fully satisfied with using it. The previous one I used was KeyCaster, which was free, but I pretty much
You
stopped
paid for
working,
that too.
so that doesn't
Huh.
work. All right, so this is just a block representing the first floor of my house, or the house I'm building. So I'm going to make another piece. I'm going to just make like a 12-foot tall, and yes, I'm using lines instead of rectangles, I know. So this is going to represent the floor, and then I'm going to take this, copy it, and put it up there. All right, so that's my two-story building. It looks big, but I'm going to come in here and start conceptualizing. Sorry, I got to remember to keep Sumele on the screen. Hey.
Okay, so I guess I didn't completely grok that you were going to just wing it for these elevations. I thought we were working from reference.
Ah.
Oh. No, I wasn't prepared for this.
Reference. That's a great idea. I should have done that. Okay. I'm gonna say, let's see, what are we doing here? I'm gonna save.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna do. Let's go save this thing. And I will call this house. Okay. So I'm gonna right now, actually, I'm gonna come in and push this down a foot. Make that top floor a little shorter than the upper floor. All right, like that. So I'm gonna come in here. I want the second floor to be a little ways back because I want to have a lower roof on the front elevation. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna push this back maybe 3 feet. I'm gonna grab the floor and of course push that back as well. All right, so that gives me a little bit of a spot right here that I can kind of put a little overhang roof on. All right, so over here, again, I'm just kind of mapping out where everything is going to go on this. And what I want to do with this base geometry, this geometry right here, is I want to represent where all the important pieces are. That way I can go in and finish out in detail what's my actual elevation finish going to look like on top of that. So, for example, I'm thinking when I look at this, I'm going to have a garage door right here. And then right here, I'll have my front entry and a window. Second floor, maybe I'll have 2 windows. Maybe they'll be like mirrored on either side. Something like that. So on this base geometry, I'm just going to come in and do that. So I'm going to make a rectangle right here. And I'm going to make it, the 2-car garage. So I'll make it 16 foot by 7 foot.
Can we put a shop in there?
We can put whatever we want in there.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So let's see, how far over is that right now? I didn't really pay attention where he stuck that. All right. So I'm going to say this. I want this to be. I'm going to come here. Or let's do this. I'm still working. You guys know this. I'm still trying to get better at using reference lines. So I'm going to use them every once in a while. So I'll say 14 inches over is where I want that garage door, and I'll just grab that and slide it over till it meets. There we go. And then I want to say, so I'm going to come another 14 inches this way. That's my garage. Over here, let's do this. Let's I'm going to put another one right here representing the top of my header is. And then I'm going to take a line. I'm going to draw a rectangle right here. Let's represent maybe a front window. And I'll say it's 4x4. 48 by 48.
Hey, that's right. My Jeep is a 4x4.
What are the odds that I would use that number?
It's crazy.
I'm just going to slide over here a little bit. So intentionally, right now, this is a group, right? My first floor geometry is a group, and I'm on the outside of that, just drawing some shapes. I'm doing this on purpose because I don't necessarily right now want to merge anything together because I'm still playing with how this is all going to happen. So somewhere over here, I want to put another door. So I'll do another rectangle, and I'll say it's going to be 7 foot by 3 foot. Okay. How far over am I here? So over here, let's say I want this to be, pull over another construction line or another line here, 12. We'll put that 1 foot over. I'll take this window, scoot it right there, and then create one more line that's over 12 again, just to have a spot inside of here that I could center that door to make it line up right. I'm gonna have to change some stuff here too, because I don't like the way this all lines up. It's too I don't know, looks awkward. I'm gonna draw a line like that, and then.
So Allison was asking about that thing in your left hand.
Oh, what, this old thing?
This thing?
This right here is a 3D mouse. It's from 3D Connection. It is called the Space Mouse Enterprise. It allows me to animate, rotate in 3D space like this without using this mouse over here. This frees up this mouse to do things like change commands, select items as I move, that kind of thing. And with the 3D mouse, all the moving, all the orbiting, all the zooming is done with my other hand, which really otherwise doesn't get used much unless I'm on the shortcut keys. So it's a great option. It's not required for SketchUp by any means, but it is a nice option if you do a lot of presentations like I'm doing right now, showing people the software, or if you do very much, you're looking for something as a designer to make you a little bit more efficient, kind of speed your workflow up, that kind of thing. It definitely makes designing quicker than with using the standard mouse for orbiting. So
I will bet you, yeah, looking at their site, they do not have drivers. Their most recent drivers are from September for Windows and
yes,
August for. So I'm going to say they probably are not updated. They may or may not work with 2021 yet.
So what I did was I actually manually copied my 2020 driver or my 2020 plugin and stuck them into the 2021 plugin folder, and everything works. So
nice.
There was no major changes to Ruby in this release, so our API didn't change on SketchUp's part, so the old one still works. All of that is void, null, out the door if you load Big Sur, though. So.
Well, so 2021 works in. I mean, it's been tested on Big Sur. I'm the guy that did the requirements, and it said it works on Big Sur.
Oh, do we have?
I don't have Big Sur.
Okay. Well, Space Mouses don't. They have a beta version out, but apparently that's not running for SketchUp. So.
Okay. SketchUp, yes. 3D Connection Space Mouse, no.
That's right. Okay. I'm going to take these rectangles. I like where they're located right now, so I'm going to take them and I'm going to cut them out. So I'm going to go cut. I'm going to go into context. I'm going to go into this first floor, and I'm going to say edit paste in place, which I don't have my shortcut key set up for, so I have to manually do it like a chump. All right, so these represent my doors and windows on the first floor. I think I'm going to do something here. I'm going to come here to this garage door right here, and I'm going to pull this forward. Do I like that better? I kind of like that. So I'm going to pull that out 24 inches.
We have Doug watching from New Zealand. He approves of the logo.
Hey, Doug.
So Doug used to be on the team for those of you guys following along at home, but now he's in New Zealand and he's only on the team in spirit.
That's right. Doug is the SketchUp 2021 spirit animal.
But not the scale component, because that's melee.
That's true. All right. Kai's back too. All right. I like this. I like where this is going. I think this is going to work. I'm going to grab this. I guess it's pretty easy to actually do that manually. I'm going to come in here and put in a couple windows up on the second floor. Same thing. I'm going to do it out of context intentionally. I'm just going to put we'll say a 4 foot by 3 foot window here. Okay. I want to get these in the same spot, so I'm going to grab another construction line. Why do I just keep saying that? Guideline. Whew. We'll put that 3 foot in. I'll do it on this side too. And then we'll bring this up from the bottom. We'll say 6'8", and then I can take this square, move it right there. Option copy it over here. Ugh, that's too small. All right, so I'm going to grab this. Make it 18, 1.5 feet wider. That's better. Let that snap to 1'8". Okay, that looks all right. I'm good with that. I'm going to get rid of my guides. Triple click, Command X, come inside, paste in place. All right, so that's what I wanted to start with. I wanted to start with just basically a template. So this is the core geometry. Everything I build on the outside of it is going to really make my front elevation. All the pieces that get built on top of that, the trim, the siding, stone, whatever I add on there is going to add to that. All right, so let's do this. Let's take these 3 pieces and how do we want to do this? I'm going to want to be able to turn these on into, no, I'll dump them all together. I'll just put these all into, I'm going to put this into a layer or a tag, excuse me, called reference geometry. Oops, I just searched for it instead of hit new. All right, so I call that reference geometry. Sorry. See, there it is. I just created the tag, but now I do have to come into entity info and assign it. So now I should be able to flip that on and off. Beauty. Perfect. All right, let's get our first elevation on here. So I was thinking of doing 3 different kinds of elevations. One, I was thinking of doing like stone halfway up, like to windowsill height, and then standard siding above that. A second elevation where maybe stone covered the entire front facade, so all the way up the front, and then siding on the second floor. And then a third one maybe where we have brick that comes halfway up and then siding up. Along with that, maybe we'll do some changes to the roof. Maybe we'll modify some roof options. I think we should put like a covering over the entry, so maybe we'll take this out a little ways, put a roof that kind of steps out right here. And we can play with that too. Maybe put a gable on one option, then a hip on another, something like that. But that was my idea of how we could create 3 different elevations pretty quickly, I think. So I should save.
Do it.
Done.
Hey, is the new big red dot, is that new? Or is that part of your new keylogger software?
That's my keylogger. So left click shows up as a red dot, right click shows up as a blue dot.
Oh.
That's right. That's what $5 on the App Store buys you.
Boom.
Yeah. Click dots.
All
right. Let's play with some stuff. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is going to come in here. Actually, I'll probably throw this on the reference geometry too. I'm going to create, let's say, a 6-foot front patio area. Like that, and we'll just push that down maybe 2 foot. And then I'm going to want some kind of posts coming up, and I want them to be in the same spot. So maybe I'll come here. I'm going to make a rectangle. Well, I'll say 8 by 8 there, and we'll do another one here. And again, this is just for reference, that sort of thing. I think that'll work. We probably want to drop the garage in that case, so I'd probably actually bring this all down like that. That looks more correcter. And then we'll need some steps on here, but we'll get to that in a sec. I'm going to take all this, make it a new group, and assign it to my reference geometry layer. That way, when I flip that off, it'll go away. Maybe. I may actually want to take that geometry and incorporate it into my elevation drawing, but we'll come back to that in just a minute or two. All right, let's come in here. So the first one I want to do, I'm going to want to come in here and maybe, excuse me, Smelly. You walk over there. I'm going to want to, so I'm going to cover this face in a stone image. I don't want to do that in my reference geometry though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it and I'm going to copy it, Command C. I'm going to come back out and edit, paste in place. That puts it right back in the same spot. I'm also going to come over here and I want my stone to wrap the corner and go back, we'll say a foot. So I'm going to come up over here and draw a line back this way 12 inches, drop that down. So something like that. Same thing over here, drop this back 12 inches, drop down like that. Okay, so now if I toggle off my reference geometry, this is my facade right now. So I'll just come in here and, actually, I want to cut that facade right here. I don't actually need this geometry down here at all. All right, so that is the facade. Actually, I don't need this either. That's all underneath the step, so there we go. So something like that. All right, I'm going to take that then and apply my stone material to it. So I'm just going to come in here. So there's actually a couple ways I could go about this, and really it depends on how much accuracy I'm looking for, how much detail I want to add in here. Because one option right now, I could come in here, go find, I don't know if we have a good, yeah, there we go. There's some stone, and put that on here like this. And that could be that. I could be done there. If I want to account for some actual depth, then I could actually take these faces and I could actually pull them out however deep that stone facade's going to be. So if I come in here and I want to pull this out, I don't know, what, 2 inches? I could do that too. And that way I'll actually have like some weight or depth to that facade. And that's really, like I said, that's kind of up to you as far as how you want to do that. What point in the design you're at. You know, if I'm at the point where I'm concerned about the depth, or if I just want to get the look and feel, I don't have to worry about actually accounting for material sizes. That's an option. But there we go. So I put that on there. I pull that out. One of the other nice things about giving it depth and pulling it out means I can turn my reference geometry back on. And because it has depth, it's actually going to be not z-fighting with my base geometry. See, because it's in there. It's out of inside that dimension. All right. Obviously, somebody's probably mentioning this. I don't know. It's funny. Kai mentioned, I've heard this several times. I guess I don't use Windows often enough anymore, but several people have mentioned that they really like the color picker on Mac. Like, I guess I just don't think about it.
An enterprising developer could probably create a color picker app you can install on Windows that mimics the color picker for Mac.
I guess I just don't even think about it. I don't know. That's pretty cool.
I know you take it for granted.
I guess so. Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry. Someone just needs to correct that. I did say granted. Also, while I've got your attention, he observed that those top windows, you expanded them, one of them by 18 inches and one of them by 1 foot 8 inches. And so his OCD is...
I kind of wondered if I did that.
Yeah, you did that.
Yep, 5'6", and this is probably 5'8", right? Whoops. Oh, nice catch, nice catch. You're in my QC team. Let's slide this
Yeah, I
back
told
2
him I would be
inches.
happy to correct you. It's one of the highlights of the show for me.
It's why I have a Jody. All right, uh, so this is good. So like I said, giving it that depth makes it so I can actually words are tough. Like I said, I don't have Z fighting. I don't have to worry about that when I put that in there. One of the things that I have to worry about, though, when I do add depth to it now, is when I come in here to put my trim, I have to account for where that trim's going to go. Probably not going to take my trim and build it up over uneven rock surfaces. So I'll probably have to come in here on each of these and push this back. What's my trim going to be? So say I have a 4-inch trim or something like that. I'd want to come in here and leave that gap in my rock so I can put my trim back on there like that. Cool. Pretty simple. And this is one way to do it. I could have also offset the lines and pulled it back, but yeah, so something like that. All right, now before I go any further, I do want to take this piece, because this is all one design element, and I want to make that into a group, and I want to put it on a layer. So I am gonna rub it in the face of Windows users right now, because one of the things I can do with Mac, which is kind of nice, on entity info, I can just come in here and I can put whatever new group I want. I can just type it in and it'll create that, I said group, what tag I want to put it on, and it'll automatically put it on that tag. So if I come in here and I say tag, I want to add this to a tag called a rock. This is my nickname all through high school. That's not true.
Can we talk about how irritated you get whenever someone calls you Aaron?
Not irritated. I'm just over it. It was funny. Key and Peele did that how long ago now? Look up that. When is that clip from? I'm curious how long ago Key and Peele started giving everyone in the world who knows somebody named Aaron the opportunity to throw that name on them.
2013 at a minimum.
Ah, see,
Yep.
that's my thing.
7 years now.
Come on, give me some new material. All right. Cool. So I have that on its own layer right now. I am going to add the elevation name to them. So I'll have A options, B options, and C options, and we'll end up throwing them in a tag folder together. I'm so scared of saying the word layer now that I can't talk like a normal person. I talk like I have a stutter as soon as I start to say tag, because I got to check myself to not say layer. Oh,
you should check yourself before you wreck yourself. Don't check yourself after you've wrecked yourself. That's always a bad idea.
That's too late. All right. I'm going to slap some trim in here real quick. So I'm just going to turn my reference off. This is the way I'm going to go about it. I'm going to draw a rectangle right inside there, like that. Reverse the face. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to turn off the bottom and center, do an offset of 4 inches. There's my trim. I'll pull that out, say 1 inch.
Did you say layer?
Probably.
Steve's over here yelling layer jar, so I don't know. I don't know if that's secret code or not secret code.
Yeah, if I say the word layer instead of tag, I have to put $1 in the layer jar.
All right. There
we go.
Oh shit! Sorry. Katie's now calling you Aaron. That's my bad. I'm sorry.
See what I got to work with here, guys. So I'm obviously not worrying about the trim as individual pieces. I'm just kind of throwing in the mass piece like that, and then one more right here, just as a way to quickly plug in geometry. And that's one of the things I want to make sure I do too, is I don't want to spend a ton of time on this. This is all going fairly quickly. If I didn't have to do stuff like, talk and explain what I was doing and kind of the whole point of this, this is actually a really quick process. All right, so now I have the option of I can grab these individual pieces. This is probably what I would do at this point. Grab this one, make it a group. Grab this one, make it a group. And grab this one, make it a group. Now, well, one more step and I'll come back to that well. Put that away and use that in a second. All right, I'm gonna grab all three of them, make that into a group, and I'm gonna put that group onto a new tag called A-trim. All right. The reason I made these into groups and not components, I'm probably going to take this same exact trim geometry and copy it into the other elevations. Knowing that's the only way these are going to get used, I don't necessarily need to put it into a component. So some people out there have workflows where they name everything, and that's perfectly fine. If you wanted to use that as a component, that's great. Just make sure you remember to make it unique, because when we copy it into the other elevation, if we change the colors, for example, which is one of the things I want to do between elevations is have different colors, we have to make sure we remember to come back and make it unique so we don't spoil our elevation that we have turned off. So yeah, I do want to end up using as much of this geometry over again where I can in the future. All right, so I got that geometry in there. Let's put our lower roof on here. Roof. All right, I got to disclaim something too right now, because this always comes up, and you guys may have already done this. You may have already picked on me about this. If I say something, use a term that you don't get, feel free to ask. What do you mean when you say facade? When you're talking about a heel, what is that? Ask me, no problem. But if you understand what the thing is I'm talking about and you have a different term for it, you can just let it slide. You don't have to point out that, I mean, there's so many different terms for all these different pieces. I get that. Building design for like 25 years now. I get that there's just, with that in mind, let's go ahead and I'm going to create a shape right here that is all of where this roof's going to be. So I want to create a roof. And I know I say roof, some people say roof. I think I may have just flipped offline for a second there. I lost my internet.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was me that got all glitchy. Oh, yep. I had the wrong window open.
Oh, not much you can do about that one. But it looks like we're streaming again now, so we will move forward.
Before you glitched out, Mark was asking how you used offset on just 3 lines.
All right, let's.
That just worked, right? That's just the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not an extension.
Nope. So if I wanted to offset this whole thing, I could select all of it, use offset, and pull it in like this. If I want to do just part of it, I can turn that off. So I can just come in here and turn this one off. And now if I offset, I'll only offset 3. I can do it with 2 lines too. I can turn this one off. I can offset that like that. And if I grab just 1 line, I can offset 1 line. So at least 2 lines in a space, you can offset that. Absolutely. All right. Yeah, I did. You guys just getting back. I lost internet for a second there, so hopefully I'm back and in higher definition shortly. All right, so here's my shape. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. What do I want to do with this one? All right, I'm going to grab this shape and I'm going to offset this maybe, let's say 18 inches. So 1.5 foot overhang right here. And I'm going to cheat this a little bit, you guys. So I'm not going to get into precision framing for some of this stuff. I'm going to take this and I'm going to say I want a facade that's like 6 inches. No, it's like 8 inches. There we go. And then from that, we'll take a roof up. Let's see. So I'm going to try, it's got to be fairly low to put a hip out here. That's kind of big, but we'll go for it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I'm making stuff up. So let's do this. Let's try like a 4/12 pitch. So generally, I know there's different ways to do this with the protractor and rotate, but what I usually do to establish my pitch is I click right here, I draw a line this way 12, and then from that point, I draw a line vertically, 4, and that gives me, that's my 4/12 pitch. So then I can take that line right there and I can carry it up like this, give myself a nice big rectangle like that. And then what I'll do is I'll grab this line, this line, this line, this line, and this line, say, follow me. So, and click on this, and there we go. That's our initial geometry. To make cleanup a little bit easier, I'm going to triple click. I'm going to make this a new group, and I will put this onto its own tag, which I will call A-lower roof. That's another term, by the way, that I have, I'm not gonna say butted heads, but I've gotten into with people is roof versus roof. I guess the pronunciation of that double O is a concern for some people.
It's weird, right? And like, so what are wild dogs called, right? Are they woofs or wolves?
Well,
I don't know. Some of these pronunciations, sometimes people are just trying to pick a fight.
I guess so.
think.
Yeah, that's a shot at my Midwestern upbringing. That's the problem there, is saying roof. That's Chicago, I guess. I don't know. All right, so here's what happened when I did that follow me. It created this. It seems messy, but really it's pretty simple. If I toggle the rest of the model on and off, I can see this line right here comes up against that second story. So to cut this off, I just pull a line straight across here. See, that cuts it to right there. This line is going to come up to here. This line is going to come back to here. And now I can just grab all of this and delete it. And there we go. There's my lower roof. Looks good. Again, like I said, I'm not getting too in there with, is this stick frame versus trusses? What's the heel going to be? I'm not killing myself over that right now. All I'm really concerned with is that I have that facade. So when I look at it like this, I'm going to see the differences in that image. All right, that looks pretty good. While I'm doing roofs, I might as well do the top here. So I'm just going to grab a new rectangle, put it right there. Again, I'm going to offset it just like I did before, 18 inches. I'm going to extrude that up 8, just like I did before again. Get rid of these extra lines. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come right here. I'm going to draw a line to the middle like that. Awesome. And now I have to draw my slope up. I don't have to do the same thing where I did before, which are a 12 and a 4, or even copy geometry, because all I have to do is come hover over this line right here, and then it'll let me snap parallel like that. Boom, boom, easy. Grab that, go in here, follow me, and there is our upper roof, matching the same slope as the lower roof. Again,
See, I thought you were say something about upper versus lower roof, like they had different names.
Oh,
whenever you start going into pronouncing roof wrong.
Possibly. I mean, I used to teach people to use framing and member sizing software, and when we would get to the day where we would talk about, it was painful. the day that we would get in and start talking about something like the different pieces that go into a wall, oh, it was mass hysteria. People would literally shut down the class to talk about what was a trimmer versus a jack stud versus a king stud versus a, oh, it hurt. It hurt bad. All right.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, it was rough. I got through it. It made me stronger. All right, so we're working our way up here. I'm going to go ahead and throw these all, now that I got a couple of these, I'm going to throw them into one tag folder. So I'm going to grab this, I had to hold, sorry. I'm going to grab those 4, and I think I drag them up. No, I don't. I just, while they're highlighted, I click tag folder, and I'm going to call this elevation A. So the nice thing now is I can click this and it gets me right back to my base geometry, or I can turn all of it on at once, or I can come in here manually and say, get rid of my roofs. There we go. All right, let's keep going. Let's get, oh, I need some trim on the second floor, so I'm gonna come in here and actually I don't need that at all. I'm just gonna draw another rectangle right here. I'm going to offset that out 4 inches. Get rid of that right there and bring this out 1. And I'll grab that, make that a group. And I can copy that group. I'm going to grab by this inside corner, hit my modifier key to copy that. Right, there we go. I'll grab both of those together. And I tend to do a lot of grouping, so I'm going to group them together. You don't have to do that. You could just take just those 2 pieces and put them as 2 pieces onto a tag together. I'm going to do that where I'm actually going to go in and put them into another group to put them in, but that's just, like I said, my preference. All right, so I want to select elevation A right now, and then when I come here and create this new tag, A dash upper trim. Oh, it didn't go in there. I'll just click on it and drag that into elevation A. And actually, now that I did that, I probably want to come in and label this lower trim.
Look at you showing off features. And I said earlier that there was not going to be any 2021 specific tutorials going on.
I guess you lied.
Yeah, well. This may be my last show with you. I don't know. I hear someone knocking at the door upstairs. So.
Oh, you blew it! You blew it!
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The SketchUp Gestapo.
Let's add some more trim here. Actually, I wanna. So I got that window trim in, but I want to put some trim around here. I'll put a trim around right up here where it's going to be 30 foot, 4 inch. Bring that out, and then, hey, let's just do this all as one piece. So I'm going to come this way for a lot of times when I see people doing stuff like adding trim, they'll draw it in as a 2D piece and then push pull. That works perfectly fine. If you're comfortable though, you can actually model a lot of that kind of stuff right in 3D. So there's no reason that a push-pull has to come out just horizontally forward. You could actually have it just come out just like that. All right, that's what I want to get in there for that. Make that a group inside that group. Okay. Oh, I probably need something holding this roof up right here. So let's come in here.
Roof. It's a rough. Hold the rough up.
That's it. Seriously, I'm not joking. Roof, rough, riff.
Potato, potato is what I say. One of those is spelled with an E.
Slopey top part thing. All right, I'm going to keep this fairly simple. I'm going to keep my posts on this one fairly simple. So we're just going to do that. I'm just going to make that into a group, make that into a group, and then grab both of these. Again, my option, put that into a group and call that a posts. And if you want to call them columns, you are more than welcome to do that. So throw that in there. Okay, so now all of elevation I can toggle on and off. Beauty. And let's go in. I'm going to do a little bit of coloring. Let's see, what should we do here? Let's wrong piece. Did not get the trim. There's the trim off. Trim is off. That's why. All right, I'm going to come into this. Let's color this. What goes with our stone? Let's pick a brownish color. I think that'll work for what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to come into these. And a lot of this stuff I could have done as I was actually doing it instead of waiting till after I had everything made up. But I didn't. I was more concerned with getting the geometry in there. I could also probably come in here and put in some doors. That would probably be a good idea. I'm going to slide this over to the other screen. It's still open, but it's on a different screen now. I'll come into these. And my trims on my second floor. And more trims. And one more trims. And then on my roof, I'm going to triple click.
It's pretty cool that your new little $5 app also tells you how many times you just clicked.
There's an upside to it. There's some cool stuff about it that I like. All right, moving forward, I'm going to come back in here into this group, and we'll throw some proper looking roof materials on there.
Okay, I'm going to wander off onto another topic here because I just opened up the web version so I could share the link on the group, and I'm kind of loving how the new logo just does this little orbity thing whenever that's like your we're doing something default behavior.
Yeah. See,
I'm liking that.
We're loading something. It's good stuff. All right, I'm going to come in here to this piece right here, triple click, and while we're coloring, I'm going to go ahead and grab a concrete texture. There we go. All right, now we need to put some siding on here. So what I did not create right now, if I turn off my reference geometry, ghost house. I don't actually have anything here to color. That's not accidental. That's intentional. When I turn off my reference geometry, I should be left only with what is in this elevation. So anything that disappears now is not. So if my siding was going to be the same for every single elevation, I could actually put that siding into this reference geometry and leave it the same. So if my siding was just white like this, then I would leave it in there. Since it's not, it's going to actually change one elevation to the next. I need to create a new surface here that is going to cover this space and give me my materials for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into this piece, I'm going to hide the rest of my model, I'm going to grab this surface and copy it, come out, edit, paste in place, make it into a new group, and I'm going to put that group on a new tag called A dash upper siding. And I'm going to put that, of course, in here. And collapse that down. I like that. Oh, look at that. I like a nice, compact, snug tag list. That's good stuff. All right, but let's get in here. Let's put a color on here. Let's see what's in our default siding. Well, let's try this brown. Let's see how that looks. Okay. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I get what I'm going for.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is.
Oops. This trim piece.
Every time I see like a facade, like just a fake building front, I always think of Blazing Saddles. Not a politically correct movie by
Oh
any
boy,
stretch of the imagination.
that did not age appropriately.
Uh, Still funny though, if you can get past being offended. But yeah, like the final scene, their final battle sort of wanders off the set and all over the place, and yeah,
That's
it's
right.
great fun.
All right, so I've just created all the geometry that is specific to this front facade. Obviously it looks kind of weird, so if I do turn on my reference geometry, I get some stuff back. I get my doors and windows, which I could actually fill in with some components. I also get my concrete right here, which is nice. One thing I might do is I might actually come into this one right here, delete that front piece. Let's see how that looks. That looks okay. Since I'm always going to cover that up with a facade piece, I don't really need it in my reference geometry. All right, so that means that's what I got now. I like that. That was easy. We're an hour in right now. This is cool. So yeah, so we should be able to do two more elevations before 2 o'clock, right? I'm even going to save. That's how confident I feel. I don't know that that made sense. All right. So now, let's talk about elevation B. With elevation B, I'm thinking that we do brick again. Maybe we'll do a different color brick, but we're only going to bring it part way up. We're going to have it go like maybe to this window height. We'll have it just go to there, and then we'll have siding up, and we'll change the whole color scheme. So maybe we'll make it a like a grayer color, and maybe we'll put in like a blue finish, something like that. So what I'm going to do is, let's see. Trying to think of the best way to do this. Because I could we created those one at a time. Let's go ahead and let's make our folders first this time. So I'm going to come in here and create an elevation B. All right. And then under elevation B, I'm going to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'll just name these. I'll just copy the names above. So this will be B, lower trim. Something to note is that even though this is in a different folder, I still can't have the same name as another tag. So I can't have I can't just call it lower roof and say, well, it's in a different folder. Each tag has to have a unique name. So I do have to do that. Throw that B in front of it or some kind of indicator that tells it that it is not trying to be the same tag as another one that exists. A bumper trim.
It's so nice to see you actually going in and labeling all this stuff. It's so exciting.
I know.
Next thing you know, you like label components too.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We already missed one though. Trim roof, posts, rock. Oh, maybe not. And this one will actually have a lower siding tag as well. All right, now I have two options at this point. One is I could turn all this off and just go in and draw it all again. Totally an option. Or I can take pieces that I've already created before and put them into the new tags and work with them from there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to turn on, I want to see just my rock. So I'm going to turn on just rock. I'm going to actually grab this component, Command C. I'm going to turn elevation A off now. I'm going to say edit, paste in place. And it pasted it, but it pasted it onto the same tag it originally existed on. So right now, before I do anything else, I'm just going to come over here and change my active tag to B-Rock. And now that's part of the elevation B instead of elevation A. All right, so now I'm going to come in here. I'm going to come into context, and I want to cut this all off right at that height. Whoops, I didn't take that all the way across. I'm just drawing lines. These are just cutting lines that tell me where that's going to be. There's probably, I can actually think of a couple different ways I could go about this. I could push pull. Yeah, let's do this. This would be fun. Yeah, I know my idea of fun is different from other people's idea of fun sometimes.
I don't know. It looks fun to me.
It's a good time. You should try it.
You're not even my manager. Why would I even be sucking up to you?
That's true. You have no reason to tell me the truth or a lie. I mean,
that's right.
I said that wrong.
Who knows? Who knows which one it is?
That's true. I got no idea. I honestly, I don't even understand. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. That's where I'm at.
What?
All right. So there is our just lower brick or stone. So I'm going to come in here. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my paint bucket. If I go to home right now, so this is the brick that is on there currently. I'm going to take this and duplicate it. I'm going to call it my new rock. I'm going to double click on that new rock, and I'm going to bring it over to the color slider, and I'm going to change a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to go a little more a steely gray kind of color, maybe a little bit of blue in there. There we go. And that's made a new material. I wanted to make sure I hit new first, because if I had just hopped in and started changing this one, it would have changed the rock on my screen, but it also would have changed the rock that's in that other group on elevation A. So now that I did that, I made a brand new material. I can come in here, triple click, or actually just Command A to select everything. There we go. I'm trying to navigate my head inside there so I'm not covering anything up. And now I can hit fill that whole thing, and there we go. We have a totally different material on there.
Wait, did you just make a new model?
Oh! Hey, watch this, Jody. Don't worry, I'll bring the other one back. Okay, I should have had that lined up a little, queued up a little better. Boom. All right, so let's keep moving up with this. I'm gonna go grab the trims. I'm gonna do all of them. So I'm gonna come up here, turn off B, turn A back on, and I'm gonna grab this group, which is all the second floor trim, and this group, which is the first floor trim. Command C. Then I'm gonna turn A off. I will hit edit, paste in place. Again, they're on the wrong layer. I'm going to dump them together onto one of the trim layers. So I'm going to drop them onto the lower trim layer. They're both going to come, oops, there we go. They're both going to come in like this. I know this is upper trim, so I'm just going to make a quick change. Turn that off, grab this one, and say put it on upper trim. But by dumping them together, I could copy them both at the same time rather than copying one and then going back and forth. Whoops, I put it on the upper trim. Sometimes it's hard to talk and do things. B upper trim, there we go. All right, that's looking pretty cool. We could find a different material. So unfortunately, I can't just grab this material and adjust it because that material is what's assigned to all the material in elevation A. So I do have to come in here, grab a new material. Well, let's just do stark white. Let's just do a bright white and take these.
Are you planning on showing off any layout stuff today?
What?
May 091985 is wondering if there's going to be any kind of layout demo as well.
Assuming we have time, I want to pull this into layout because tag folders are supported by layout. So one of the things I want to do is create a drawing and show how quick and easy it is to just swap between elevations once we get done. So yeah, we better be in layout. All right, that's done. Let's go ahead and move our siding over too. So I'm going to go ahead.
You're giving people color picker envy every time you pull that up.
Somebody in the before we even started, somebody said, "Why Mac over Windows?"
There you go.
I'm just saying. I'm going to copy this, my siding, edit.
I also really like the little kind of twisty knot tie icon, the Mac icon more than the Windows icon. Whenever you hit that little operating system specific key, it just looks cooler.
There's plenty of reasons, yeah. All right, let's give this a new color. And I am just grabbing from the default materials, of course. There are lots of ways you could do this. Let's grab this and try that. Let's see how that looks with the whole thing. Nah, let's make that blue. Let's blue that up. So I'm going to double click here, head over to the color wheel. There we go. I like that. Cool. All right. Now I'm going to come into the base model and grab this, this, and this. Command C to copy. Come out here, edit, paste in place, and make that into a group. And put that group into B lower trim. No, lower siding. All right. And now I can take all that and paint that on there. Again, we got Z fighting because in my base model still, in here I have those faces, so I can delete that and that and that. All right, there we go. It's coming together. All right, let's get some roofs on here. Oh no, let's get some trim on here first. So I'm going to come into this group, and I'm going to this way.
Oh, oops. I was opening the jar of peanuts, and apparently I did it right in front of the microphone. Sorry.
We were with you on that one, yeah.
What's going on at Jody's place?
All right, I'm going to grab all of these.
Apparently this little baffle is not as effective at baffling sounds as I had originally hoped.
I did not feel baffled. Were you guys baffled at all? I felt quite unbaffled.
People seemed baffled as to what I was doing.
Now that I know it was peanuts, I am a little jealous about this whole remote working thing. I like peanuts.
The nice thing is, if you have a peanut allergy, I can still do it.
That's true.
Yeah,
that doesn't bother me.
Turning off my sounds. I'm being less noisy. Goodness, everybody. I just wanted to make sure you were paying attention. Make sure you were listening to me.
That's right. Not just muting and enjoying just the visuals. All right. I know I'm doing this kind of in a ghost layout here, but I know exactly what I'm drawing or where I'm drawing this all, so I'm not really too worried about being able to see everything underneath because I know what I'm doing and where I'm putting it. Again, doing my 3D trim. Oops. And one more right here. And I am only, I mean, this probably became apparent to you guys, but I'm really only worried about the front facade. I'm not going past. I lapped this a little bit, and the reason I lapped the stone was because it is going to stick out when I look at the front facade like this, so it's just going to bump out like that. So I did intentionally let that pop out a little bit. The rest of it, though, I'm only worried about what I can see from the front. All right, let's get some roofs in here. I'm going to grab this group and this group again. Command C, turn off elevation A, edit, paste in place. Can I move this over here? Is that going to be too? No, you can see that pretty well behind my head. That's better. And change that to B. I'll put it on the upper roof right now, and I can grab this one, put that on B lower roof. All right, and a couple things I change here. I want to change not only the color, I actually want to change the style of the roof. Maybe I'll change the pitch or something like that. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to wipe out all of everything above here, since it's so quick and easy to put a new roof on here. I'm going to grab all that. I'm going to color it with my just snow white color. Awesome. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do a 5/12 this time. There we go. I'll take that up to here. I think that's low enough to not interfere with the windows, but we'll see. I'm going to have that wrap around here to here. Tools, follow me. Like that. Nice. I'll grab this piece. Take that and stick it right there. Rotate it to here. Push, pull that through like that. You know, this is another one of those spots where I'm like, I could probably think of a solid half dozen ways to get this geometry in here, and I'm just kind of letting go and seeing what I do, because that is what apparently I would do if I just had to bump and just had to create that geometry. Wasn't really thinking about how that would all work. Oops. All right, I'm going to take these sides and I'm going to push them in. That looks weird with them hanging out like that. All right, that looks better.
So, K. Brooks was wondering if your screen on your 3D mouse works. He said whenever he hooks it up to his MacBook, it doesn't do anything.
Oh yeah, it sure does. If yours isn't working, I would recommend reaching out to 3D Connection. I've actually really had a good experience working with them anytime I've had to call them and talk to like help desk or support. I'm gonna grab these two lines, offset them 6 inches. Do something like, I don't know, come over here. I feel kind of creepy when Jody's eating because now I'm in silence. I
can just keep the mic on. You can listen to me eat. I have an appointment like after this, so I'm not going to have time to have lunch. So I just sort of ate a quick lunch, and then I'm okay with it. Noshing.
All right, I'm gonna do my. Oh, I should finish my roof. All right, let's come up here. Get rid of this. Again, draw a line right here, parallel to this guy.
You know what's interesting is like when you did the blue siding on that.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, it went from looking kind of southwesty to looking more like New England coastal.
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't understand. I don't understand why a simple color like that messes with my head so much.
Well, it's real. I mean, that's what architects do. I hear. I am not an architect myself. I'm actually not anything. I'm not a structural engineer. I'm not a. At this point, I'm just kind of more of a demo monkey than anything. But
you're really good at making tiny gardening implements. I've seen it.
That's true. That's a thing. For what that's worth, I got
something
that
to fall back on.
All right, let's do this. I don't have standard details for all this stuff, so I'm just kind of throwing some geometry in here to make it look good. And that's going to, of course, change my trim down here. So this trim, whoops. Well, I guess I could actually leave that trim across there. I'm going to leave it and then add more to it. Put that in there. And then we need a new roofing color. So I think there's a default one that's darker. Let me grab roofing.
See, whenever you say roofing, you're pronouncing roof correctly.
Roofing?
Right? You never say roughing.
That's what a dog does.
Or it's what you do when you're camping out without all of the glamping stuff.
That's
you're
right.
roughing it. You're not roofing it.
100% true. All right, it's coming together. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna add on this trim right here. Maybe I'll take this piece up, make a bigger, whoops. I'll take this board and make this like a little bit bigger. And then I can something like
Trenson
that.
said it's time to save and sip.
Oh, you guys and your practical ideas. That's an excellent idea, by the way. All right, I'm going to get another piece of trim up here under the roof. I'm going to make this all as one piece. So I'm just going to come over here like this, and then like that, and then like that. And then I can grab those edges. Wait. Forgot where shift was on my mouse for a second there. There we go. Offset that 4 inches. I'll have to take this piece back down to there. And I'll come over. That looks awesome. Get rid of this. Push this out to here. Erase those. And then I have some reversed faces in there, so I'm going to hit orient faces, get everything popping out, facing outwards. All right, there we go. Looks pretty good. I do need to throw some columns or posts in here, so I'm going to start with the same thing I had last time. I'm just going to go, I don't need to copy this because there's an extruded rectangle. I'm going to take it up to this height right here. I'm going to pull this out, option pull it out 2 inches. I think that's what I did on the other one. No, here's what I'm going to do. All right, just everybody settle down. All right, I'm going to offset this 2 inches. And I'm going to pull this piece up to here. And I'm going to peek inside. Hello. And pull that all the way up.
Calling this a Nupi house, and Sebastian said it's my big fat Greek wedding house.
I'll take either of those.
Yeah, just put a bottle of Windex on the porch. And
you know, it's funny because that's the only thing I remember from that movie too, is the Windex references.
I don't remember their house. I remember that she was getting married to the guy from Northern Exposure. And that's it. And that's the end of it.
Yeah, that's pretty much my experience with it as well.
Oh, and the Babopsy and her mom had a twin. There was a tumor in her neck or something like that.
See, that's even more than I remember. All right.
Let's see.
So these two guys, again, I will group them together and throw them onto B post. All right, so now what should happen if I did this all right, I should be able to flip off elevation B and it should all go away. I love when stuff happens like I say it should happen. I'm managing to not screw stuff up. This is pretty cool. All right, save. Sip a coffee. Oh, my coffee's gone. Well, probably should call it before we mess with elevation C then. No, I'm kidding. We'll get elevation C on here and then we'll call it. All right, so elevation C.
Oh, we call it.
We're gonna do a brick. This lower section will make actual brick. I think we'll do like a little bit of a ledge too. So we'll have a little spot where the brick sticks out, kind of intentionally like that. A drip ledge kind of thing. Maybe we'll go with a vertical siding just to mix it up. And we'll do like a Dutch hip kind of roof. I know, Sebastian, isn't that the worst? And honestly, I'm at that point where like it's probably too late to make another pot of coffee because I won't sleep.
Once upon a time, you had someone that would come out here and give you coffee right about now. What happened to that?
She went back to school. So that's the reality in which I live now.
I'm sorry.
It's terrible. Okay, let's do this thing. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close up elevation A. I like that better when I had all my elevations made, so I'm gonna do that also. I'm gonna hit plus, make a new group called elevation C. And I don't actually want that in there nested. You can nest things too, so something I could do if I was concerned about it, I could actually come into elevation A, for example, and I could say make a new group and call this A trim. And then I could take my upper trim and my lower trim and I could actually drop those under trim like that. Same thing, come in here, say A roofs dash roofs. And then I could grab my upper and my lower roof, put that in there. So if I wanted to do that, I could do that also. The nice thing about that is it does collapse up the tree a little bit, though it adds one. So obviously I'm going kind of light on this elevation as far as the number of tags I could have. But if you guys have ever worked on a full-on architectural model, you've probably seen where you end up with 50, 60, 70, 100 different tags once you get all of your finish, electrical, entourage, machines, appliances, all that stuff. So yeah, that's an option. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I'm gonna just name these again real quick. C lower trim. C.
It would be nice if there was maybe that's what we can add in a future update. There's an easy way to replicate all those.
I would love, now that I'm doing, I didn't know I wanted this until right now, but yeah, a duplicate would be kind of nice. Granted, oops. See, I can't talk and type. I've never been able to do that. Part of my brain shuts down as soon as I start typing.
But can you pat your head or rub your tummy while you're typing?
That using my hands, I can do pretty good like that. But yeah, it's just typing. It's the typing thing. I've never really been a very good typist. All right, I'm gonna date myself, and I realize it, but when I was in middle school, some refer to it as junior high. That's what it was when we went. I took a typing class, and I took it on typewriters. And yep. I didn't get along well with the teacher of that class because I did not do good typing. I always looked at my fingers. I did this when I had to hurry up. So I've always been that way, whole life.
I wasn't ever good in school, and then little backstory is I actually met my wife online, but back before there was online dating, we just met in a chat room, and I just got really good at typing then because that's my main way of talking to her.
Hey, that's
So now that real
whatever it
fast,
takes.
it's yeah, you have to have a compelling reason to type, and doing it for grades is just not the same.
No, that's true. Maybe I needed that. But only I had met my wife online in middle school. No, that would have been bad. That sounds creepy. That's too early for that. All right, I'm gonna find some brick. I'll put my brick in here. Ooh, I like it already. All right, so I want to put a ledge on here. So I'm gonna come down. How high is this? 2 3/4. This is all theory right now. I don't know exactly how this is going to work out, but we'll find out in a moment.
It's so fun that we get to learn this together.
That's right. I like to invest myself in the learning process as well. All right, so there is my 2 3/4. I'm going to take that and pull that out. I guess I could just come out 1 inch, right? Is
Somebody going to tell you you're wrong?
That's right. I do what I want. My design. Oops.
Oop.
Until it doesn't go well. Then that's your fault. All right. And then I'm going to change some of this because I'm going to come into this one right here. And I'm going to grab that face, texture, and I'm going to position that texture just on this one piece. I'm going to take it and I'm going to keep it at the same scale, but rotate it 90 degrees. And line it up so I just see the ends of the bricks like that. There we go. Nice. And now I'm going to sample this and put it right here. Ah, just off. Whew. Hit my head on the wall. Does this not perfectly? Oh, it doesn't. I didn't realize that. If I come down like this, it jogs right here. Oh man.
It just shows its authenticity. It's an older house. You know, sometimes those bricks, they tend to shift or they weren't made.
That
with
works on
precision.
here, but my ledge, I really can't have a it's like a half-inch slice of brick right there turned sideways. I wonder if I can, if I'm really careful, can I find a course that goes all the way through? I guess that's close. All right, I'm gonna use that. All right, so now I have that going on. I'm gonna grab my siding layers. That'll be this one and this one right here. I copy that, turn it off, edit, paste in place, and then of course switch those to C lower siding will work. Oh, I did not grab both of them. Okay, so we'll take that one and put it on C upper siding, and then go grab this guy. I'm obviously not grabbing the right thing. I'm grabbing nothing. Oh, there we go. Now I got it. I'm gonna watch my tag, my info up here. I'm gonna grab that, turn this off, edit, paste in place, and then change it to C lower siding. Awesome. All right, so I was thinking just to
there you go again.
Danger. All right, I'm gonna come in here and let's see. I'm gonna start with which one of these? Let's start with this one, but I'm gonna turn it and scale it up a bit. like that. And then maybe we'll go with a merrier color. I'll double click on it and let's go. Let's just get fun with this last one in a nice canary yellow color. That goes good with brick. Looks like a pickle. A little oranger, a little brighter. Oh man, yellow's such a. There we go.
Puce, is that's the word we're looking for here?
Oh.
That's a color people are not supposed to know, right?
No,
if
you have to use the word puce, something has gone wrong.
I think I'm calling that puce because it looks like puke, but I meant chartreuse.
That's closer. All right. Whew, that's something. Now to find a trim that goes with that color.
White.
Yeah, I guess we're sticking with white. All right, let me go grab my trim layers.
I'll be honest, where this blue evoked something sort of New England-y, your bright green has evoked no positive feelings for me.
Oh, that really hurts, Jody.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I can't think of a way to soften the blow on that statement.
Dang it. All right, I gotta turn some things off. I keep grabbing the trim, so I'm gonna turn the trim off. No, I'm gonna turn the siding off because I keep grabbing the siding. There we go.
See, you are now showing the one problem with having the ability to add so many tags so easily is now you're getting caught up on tag management. It's nice you could collapse elevation A.
Yeah. That's still easier than it was though. Having all the, being able to just get rid of some stuff. What I really could have done, you know what, this is what I should have done. And like I said, I'm learning this with you guys. I have to do this first because I'm always afraid I'm gonna put this onto my lower trim level. What I could have done, what would have been probably a smarter thing to do, was to go in here, turn this on, grab everything, or turn my reference off, grab all of, whoops.
Martin observed that you're obviously saving the best for last.
He likes that yellow,
huh? Or something.
Would be to grab all of this, copy it, turn elevation off, paste it, put it onto one of these layers over here, and then reassign the layers afterwards rather than jumping back and forth and grabbing one piece at a time. Now that I've done it twice, I'm realizing that's less than ideal.
See, next time would be right. Third time would be the proverbial charm.
Right, it's the one that I don't actually ever do. That's the one that I really win at.
Not getting around to that.
That's the one. All right, so it's come together. It's looking it's looking like something. All right, so there we go. Whew. That's something. Okay, let's hop over here real quick. Grab our roofs. Command C, turn off B one more time.
Sven said yellow is pretty common in Newfoundland, so maybe.
I made a Newfoundlandian thing.
I guess maybe it is the right word. That sure sounds funny.
It does, but as I was saying it, I'm like, oh, I'm going to murder this. And then I went, yeah, I murdered that.
Yeah, it's probably supposed to be Newfoundlandian.
Well, what do we got? What does Sven say? Oh, I guess you can't type phonetically. You really enunciate when you type in a reply.
So I was using my enunciate keyboard earlier, and you were complaining that I was noisy. So I don't know.
Yeah, that was something.
I said last week that I was being a little too laid back or too quiet, and so I just tried to bring a little more action, something a little more dynamic. You bringed it. Crunched in the mic, opening peanut jars, typing with noisy keyboards. I can't think of anything else. Let me go stir up the dogs.
I think we're good. I think you're good. All right. So I want to change this into a Dutch hip or a snub nose hip, or there's several names for it, where basically this gets cut off like that and comes down on a slope. I want to do that real quick. I want to do it at the same pitch. This is that 512 pitch. There's several ways to do this. I'm going to do it in such a way that I modify existing geometry rather than going in and wiping it out and drawing it again. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to draw a line this way. Let's see. I'm going to come down. So I'm going to say 24 inches, and then I'm going to come down 10 inches. So there's my 512. That's not going to cut off very much, is it? No. All right, so let's go twice that.
So Stefan made a good suggestion for copy and place.
Okay.
Or paste in place. He said he uses Control B because it's right there by his, it's right in his CV and C and V area.
That makes sense. I actually have it shortcutted to Option V. So rather than Command V, which is normal paste, Option V does a paste in place. Not saying you have to, just saying that's what I do. I'm going to take this and I'm going to make a group. I'm going to copy that and stick it right there. Let's see if this is not currently solid. Let's see if we can make this into a solid real quick. Oh.
Huh, that's fun.
That kind of feels like one of those fake examples you get set up. You're like, let's find out what we have a problem. Oh, look here.
A perfectly placed gigantic hole.
And solid created. Not intentional. That was just how I modeled it. All right. So we'll take that now. I'm going to take this piece and use it as a cutter to chop that off. All I'm looking at right now, really creating, is this top shape. And then I'll come in and add this, the overhang or the eave or whatever you want to call it, afterwards. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to go to my solid tools. And I'm going to subtract that from this. All right, and there we go. That cut it off just like that. So obviously I have some cleanup to do. I'm going to come here like this. I'm going to drop down, what is this, 6 inches? 6 inches. Take that straight over like that. Push that back like that. All right, and I can take this, put it there, and there we go. So pretty quick, pretty easy. Like I said, there's a different process you would go through if you're doing that from scratch. But I guess that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna do the same thing up here. Let's see, is this solid? It's already a solid, so I can just go ahead and subtract, whoops, did that backwards. Cutter first, subtract this from this. And obviously my trim needs to get cleaned up, but before I worry about my trim, I'm gonna come in here and just get this nice and tidy. Drop this down 6 again. All right, I'm coming to my trim. Let's get that. Actually, need to turn that on like that. I grab this line. I'm just going to pull it straight across to there. And I'll use. Whoops, I'm not in context. Got to go double click again.
Get in context.
That's right. Context is king. I heard that at a base camp once. I don't remember what it meant though. It was related to a presentation specifically.
So it was apparently very educational.
Well, have I mentioned the type of student I was? No, it was. I'm sure it was a great extension or great session. I don't know if anybody here remembers that. What was context is king? I think it was last in-person base camp we had.
I like that you have to make that distinction now.
Yeah, because now we did the pretend ones, the virtual ones. All right, come in here.
Neat. Z-fighting. I think you created a new face whenever you just made that new. Yeah.
Oh, I should be using my tags. Duh. All right, get rid of my roof, upper roof.
Andy pointed out you could do a lot of this, maybe all of this, with Outliner. And Bradley said he probably, for his workflow, he probably would have better luck just doing it all on layer 0 and creating groups.
True to a point.
So many options, so many ways to do
That's
this.
True. No, I like Outliner a lot. The thing I like about tags is the ability to group pieces together and mess with them, do things with them. And we're going to do something with this when we hop into layout in just a minute. All right, I just got to grab my posts.
Got really quiet in chat. I need to eat some food because that gets everybody talking.
There's a reason for it.
Gives us something to talk about.
Talk.
I think there's a song, right?
Complain, whatever.
I think it's probably more observational.
Mm.
Okay, so Carson said it was the models from concept to render with Daniel Tall. I did not attend that one, so that's why I didn't know what you're talking about.
Fair enough. All right, there she is. All right, I got to do something about these things. I'm going to come in here, collapse. This obviously did not end up on the right spot, so I'm going to change that to C lower roof. Awesome. I'm going to come in context here. Let's do this. Let's come down here. Some lines across here like this. That'll work for right now. Get a little relief on our door here. And maybe same thing with our windows here. Offset it. Color it. Okay, now all right. That's not the ideal garage door. I probably should actually make that on its own layer. The white front door and garage door don't really go with elevation A so much. So it can't be. You know what? Let's just get hip. Let's. I'm probably saying stuff like that it's probably like, oh man, nobody's done that since like the 90s. But I'm gonna give this a bright red front door.
So in this new, by my observation and my children's as well, in this new, everybody is buying a house and turning it into an Airbnb. Everybody puts bright colored door on the front of their Airbnb. So it's back. Red doors are back.
Then you can say something like, it's the bright green one with the bright green door, something like that.
Yeah. Last time I went to visit family, the one we went to had a bright orange door. That was unique. That was new. It looked okay though.
All right, so I'm going to go to my cameras. I'm going to turn to a parallel projection. So looking straight at it. I'm going to go to a standard front view. I'm going to blow it up nice and big like that. I'm going to turn everything on. I'm gonna grab everything except Sumele.
So Andy pointed out if you put bright red trim on option C, it's very, in fact, earlier he said he wanted to go watch some Simpsons. Bright red trim with option C looks like a Simpsons house or a Springfield house.
I got no reason not to do that.
All right. Perfect.
Cool. Let's come in here and let's get rid of anything that's not trim.
You just turned off trim.
As I turn off trim. Ah, there we go. All right. How bright red do we want to go?
Ooh, I feel like you need to see how well it works with your horrible chartreuse siding. I don't know. All I can do is just look at that and think nothing goes with that color.
That would be true. All right, we're gonna commit though. We're in at this point. Oh. Yep.
Sebastian said he's turning this off. And oh my God, why?
Sometimes you just got to do what's asked of you. I don't know why I say that, but I just did it. All right, there we go. Let it not be said that I will not do what is requested despite all better judgment. Okay.
Well, so the nice thing is by repeatedly saying you're doing what someone else told you, you absolved yourself of any responsibility of the eyesore that is that.
That's right. I'm just a designer. I just do what's told. I do what the plans tell me. All right, I'm going to create a single scene now. Plus, and we'll just.
I have to side with K Brooks in that if neighborhoods look like this, you might drive through them, if only because right now, whenever I drive through if I drive through a more modern housing addition here in the greater Colorado area, they all look the same. They've all got a stone siding up to a point, and they're all the same it's like somebody got a huge deal on earth tone colors, and that's all they do is paint their houses in these.
I would be lying if I didn't say that this morning I took a little walk around my neighborhood, which is, what, 3 or 4 years old, and take some pictures of some combinations of materials and colors. Yeah, they all kind of look like this. I agree.
I mean, at the very least, if I'm driving around with my wife, we'll just go, "Oh my God, why would they do that?" All right, because then I feel I immediately am superior to that person. Builds up my self-esteem.
Especially when you drive through an upper crust neighborhood and they got some dumb design decisions that you can look down on. Well, that's a $2.3 million house. Look at those gutters.
Way to ruin it.
I'm going to turn off the sky and just set the background to white too. I might turn the ground on though.
I actually said Seattle is more colorful, so that's good. I'm glad there are some places. I do like to. We have Prospect. I like to drive through that because they've got interesting looking houses and they tend to have interesting colors.
All right, so I saved this. I'm not worried about making a scene for each of the different tag folders. I'm just creating one with elevation A turned on, and now I'm going to come up and send that over to layout. I thought I did just save. I guess I didn't. Try that again. Send to layout. Ooh, and you know what? This is the first time I'll have run layout 2021 on the current installation. As is evidenced from this message. Are you sure?
I don't remember who it was that posted it. Somebody did comment though that is one heck of a step getting into the
Yeah, I was going
getting
to put
into the
steps
front
on
door.
there. I did not do that.
You're not supposed to notice that when you're looking at it from in elevation. You don't see the steps anyway.
That's right. They would just be some lines. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to put some steps right here, but I forgot. Maybe they're tucked in and they're
Yeah,
something.
and directly underneath the door, which is again its own different problem.
All right. So here we go. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this elevation right now and I'm gonna just slap it on the page. The rest of it would be the same. If I want to put on a title block or give it a specific scale, I could still do that. The important piece I want to touch on is I'm going to duplicate this page, not once, but twice. Now I'm going to go to page 2. Actually, what I should do, I should probably do this first. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Go to my scrapbooks. Hold on, I got to find my scrapbooks. There we go. Go to my scrapbooks. I'm going to go to... I don't feel like we can do elegant. I think we'll have to do something more plain. Nah, that's okay. All right.
Scott was wondering if you programmed any of the extra buttons on your MX Master 3 for special SketchUp functions.
Oh, yes. Yes, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 commands on my master. All right, now I'm going to take that, and I'll come back to that. I'll touch on that in just a second. I'm not in SketchUp right now, so none of my shortcut keys work. So, go to my pages, and now I will duplicate it not once but twice. Come into my second page. I'm going to change this text to say to elevation B. And now to swap it over, all I got to do is pick on it, go to my tags, and turn off elevation A and turn on elevation B. Ooh, I love it when a plan comes together. Hop on this last page. And let's turn on elevation C. Same thing, we'll go hit our tags. I gotta select it. Tags, turn off elevation A, turn on elevation C. Yeah, it worked. Awesome. You guys remember like Windows 3.1 that had those controls where you could set a color scheme for all of Windows? And there was one called Hot Dog Stand, which was all bright red and bright yellow. I feel like that's really embodied the look of the hot dog stand.
I'm pretty sure that was only created for the sole purpose of pranking your coworkers who left their computer unattended.
That was the primary use as far as I understood it. So there we go. So in little to no time in actual layout, we actually have images of each of these. And I mean, I did, like I said, I think I optimized the workflow for actually creating the elevations as we did it. But like I could have, like I said, copied all that geometry and then put it onto new tags as I went instead of copying one piece at a time. But the cool thing is that, like I said, that was really pretty easy way to put those three pieces or three different elevations together. I think this is my winner. I like this one. I know we got a like New England look, but I do like that.
Clam chowder. So I just discovered, and so now I have extra apologies to everyone. I just discovered that I didn't even have my good microphone turned on. That's why you could hear everything. Oh.
You sound better than you did before. Here, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna back up real quick and give you props with the lower third, then nice voice in our ears.
Sorry about that. I apologize, everyone. And now I'll yell in the microphone just to make it extra annoying.
Ah, that's better.
So I was completely in the other room getting an apple, and someone's just like, "Now you're eating an apple?" I'm like, "How the hell did they know this? I haven't even taken a bite of this apple. All I did was cut it." Oh, man, rookie. We went too long without doing anything, and so now I'm just like making all the mistakes.
That's the problem. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Real quick to hop back, just because the question about and I'm really am an advocate of this. I think you should have good tools to do good work. So I really do. I love the MX Master series of Logitech mice. They're Bluetooth, or they work off of a dongle if you need to, but they are programmable. So on my mouse, what's that?
I'm going to chime in on that because my MX Master started just disconnecting itself whenever using Catalina using Catalina. It worked fine in Mojave. So beware if you're a Mac user, because you get some glitchy business.
Yeah, I do not have that issue. It's weird. But yeah, so when I go in here, everything works for me still. I have these two buttons right next to the thumb pad, and if I hit forward on it, I go into draw line. Backwards gives me eraser, which are my most commonly used commands besides select. The thumb pad, if I push down once, I get select. If I hold down and slide my mouse up just a little bit, I go into move. Hold down, slide down is push pull. Hold down and slide left is rotate. Hold down and slide right is rectangle, which I found those are the 7 most commonly used commands for me. You could always set whatever you want on there, but it is pretty nice because every time I do that is less time having to go tap a shortcut key or slide up and pick a command off the top. So yeah, so I think we're there. We done did it.
Nice. It was a good run.
And
it was extra fun because Jody was a complete moron and didn't turn on the right mic.
It did add a special something.
Yeah, something is right.
Anyhow, yeah, so we're there. We made it to the end of today. We're not going to be here next week. Next week is the week of Thanksgiving, and both Jody and I are going to take time off to not travel and visit family. But hey, it's a holiday, right? Take what you get.
Maybe I'll just record everything happening at my house so that I can at least play that for you guys, and you can and enjoy that. I feel especially bad. I have a feeling that that Tyson on Facebook might have some issues with listening to the sound of people eating because he did not like the sound of my eating at all. I felt really bad.
How do you know you're not going to like hearing Jody eat until you've heard Jody eat?
That's true. So. That is true. I was thinking to myself, I should go back down there with a thing of pudding, but then I was like, I don't have any pudding.
We're just proving things out. That's what's happening. So we won't be here. We will be coming back 2 weeks from today. One of the things that we're looking at is, and I'm just going to touch on this super briefly. Well, actually, 2 things. One is tomorrow we're actually doing a webinar, something a little more formal than this. Where we're going to be running through not only the pieces we looked at today, tag folders and layout, but actually everything that's part of the 2021 release. So we'll look at pre-design, we'll look at live components, we'll watch a couple other things that are kind of cool. So if you're interested in that, Jody can probably throw up the Crowdcast list or link, and you can join us on Crowdcast for that, because that's going to be a fun one. Like I said, a little more formal, webinar-y style, but it'll be about an hour over lunchtime. So come check that out if you have any questions on what else is included in 2021.
Wait, I don't even know anything about this link. I don't know what you're talking about.
Just Google Crowdcast SketchUp. That should get you there.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't. I forgot that I was supposed to mention that, so I'm
I wasn't
sorry.
in the same meeting as you, so
I apologize for not prepping you on that one. But one of the other things that we're doing is we're asking you to give a shot at modeling our new logo. So that obviously there's not just a new SketchUp logo, there's a new logo for everything we make. So I think all in there's 6 to 8 logos. They keep coming out. We're not done making them, I guess. But if you go to our forum, forums.sketchup.com, there's actually a forum post about this, which I think we have SKP in 3D is the hashtag that we're using. We're asking you to give a shot at actually modeling, because unlike our previous logo, this logo that we're using now can exist in real 3D. The other one was a 2D drawing, a 2D image of a 3D shape, and it was not properly parallel, didn't have proper vanishing points. It bugged a lot of people as designers. I struggled with it a little bit, but so if you want to give a shot at that, you can check that out in the forum. And when we come back 2 weeks from today, we're actually going to go in and, similar to what we did with like machine part modeling, go in and do some precision modeling of those 3D shapes. It'll be a fun one. It'll be a good time. We will enjoy ourselves, have fun, or something along those lines. Jody promises to use his correct microphone when we come back.
I do not promise that. I
Okay.
will always reserve the right to screw up and mess everything up.
I tried, but yeah, apparently that's what's going to happen for real. So
I do want to comment real quick before we go away. As I keep staring at this as your final screen there, is it reminds me to what we did last time, Rodrigo's stuff. It looks like it would not be out of place in his hypercolor models.
I feel like I need something a little more like a bright green roof or something. The realistic shingles and the realistic bricks don't seem to mesh well with the those primary color pieces. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Well, take a picture of your neighbor whose house looks like this, and we'll compare.
Hey, this was somebody else's idea. This was not me. This one was somebody wanted a hot dog stand, and I gave it to him. All right. Well, we're going to call it there, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. And if you haven't already, check out 2021. It's got some good stuff in there. There's some additional functionality, additional programs we didn't get a chance to take a look at, but it's all on our blog. It's on our forum. It's on our main page. You can learn a lot about it. And if you want to come back tomorrow for that webinar, and we can take a look at everything together. So until then, or 2 weeks from now, we will see you guys later.
See you guys.